Hello, I'm Amber. I was born into a wealthy family, but I hated the members of this family. Please like and subscribe to LDA to listen to my story. My mother, Diana, was a famous model and actress. My father, Mr. Cian, was a wealthy investor. They met and fell in love during a big movie project, and a grand wedding was held in one of the most luxurious hotels in the city. After getting married, my mother withdrew from the entertainment industry to focus on housework. Not long after, she became pregnant and gave birth to me. But my father began to change. He often left early and returned late at night. The frequency of his business trips away from home was also increasing. Dad also began to be cold towards his mother. He even scolded her whenever she didn't do what he wanted. Years passed, and as I grew up, my mother's health was getting worse and worse. Even breathing became hard for her. Prolonged episodes of fatigue often tormented her. But Mom refused to go to the hospital. I had to ask for help from my father, hoping he could convince her, but my father cold-heartedly ignored it. Tonight, while preparing for dinner with my mother, she suddenly fainted. I rushed my mother to the hospital. Sitting in the hallway, waiting for the results, I couldn't stop worrying.
Who is patient Diana's family member?
It's me.
The patient needs emergency surgery. Please sign the consent form for surgery.
What's wrong with my mother, doctor?
Your mother has grade 3 heart failure.
The news hit me like thunder, making my whole body weak. I fell to the ground.
Please sign the paper. The patient's condition is very critical and can get worse. Call more family members to prepare.
My hands trembled as I accepted the pen to sign. I didn't know when my eyes got blurred. I thought of my father and immediately pulled out my phone to call him. But like so many times before, my father didn't answer the phone. Having no other way, I had to run to his company to look for him. As soon as I got to the company gate, I saw my father get in car and leave. I got into a taxi on the side of the road and was followed right behind my dad's car. My father's car stopped in front of the hotel. Why did he come in here? Without thinking much, I quickly chased after him. I ran to the elevator just in time to see my dad go to the 5th floor. But I had no clue which room he was in. I ended up knocking on every door. To the annoyance of the guests I bothered, I could only bow my head in apology. A woman brushed past me to the front door of room 510 and knocked. Unexpectedly, the person who opened the door was my father. He hugged the woman and kissed her on the cheek. The two got into the room. I was about to rush over when the phone rang.
Hello, are you Diana's family members?
Yes, how's my mother?
Your mother has undergone surgery, but her condition seems very bad. We need you to be present immediately.
I rushed to the hospital. Seeing my mother lying on the bed weakly, I couldn't help but burst into tears and ran over. I took my mother's thin hand and pressed it to my cheek, closing my eyes, trying to feel her warmth. Just like that, my tears fell. Amber, Mom, you're awake.
Amber, I have prepared dinner. Remember to eat well. It's getting cold, so make sure you dress warmly. I've already knitted a pair of bunny gloves that you like. And I love you very much.
I watched in silence as my mother smiled. My tears couldn't stop falling. Her hand fell on my face and then dropped. The room was quiet. Only the sound of the heart rate monitor left. I repeatedly and rocked my mother's body. Mom? Wake up! You even promised not to leave me. Mom! Please, wake up! Don't scare me like that! After my mother's funeral, the large house turned cold. Alone, I could only hug the photo of my mother sitting on the balcony, hoping she would return. Images of my mother and I kept popping up, making me smile unconsciously. But the smile quickly faded. In the yard, Dad was holding another woman's hand. I have met her before. It was the woman in the hotel. My lady, Master said he wanted you to come down for dinner. As soon as I went down, I instantly saw my father and the woman waiting for me.
Sit down, Amber. I want to announce something. I see you are heartbroken after your mother's death, so I found a new mother for you. She is Ada.
Hi, Amber. I'm Ada.
We're planning a wedding next week. I hope you will be there.
My mother just passed away, and you already found a new toy?
Amber!
Am I wrong? You must have spoiled your little wife here for a long time. You're just waiting for the opportunity to make it official. My father blushed furiously, stood up, and raised his hand to slap me, but I caught him and pushed him down. Mrs. Ada rushed to help. I didn't expect you and your daughter will fight over me. Mr. Cian, I think Amber needs some time to accept. We can leave the wedding for a while.
There is no need. The wedding ceremony is still going on as scheduled.
It was ridiculous. I laughed without a single care. As I passed, I could see Mrs. Ada glancing in my direction, smiling triumphantly. That sly old hag must have used many tricks to enter this house. That night, I carried my belongings out of the house and left. My destination was Paris. I went everywhere and took a lot of beautiful pictures. I fulfilled the promise my mother and I made when she was alive. 10 years have passed by. I was enjoying a meal at the beachside restaurant when a familiar phone number called.
Miss Amber, you should go home once. Mr. Cian had a stroke and just passed away.
What? Although I hated him, he was still my father. I flew home that same night. As soon as I entered the living room, I saw Mrs. Ada and the strange boy crying. As soon as she saw me, she rushed over. Amber, you're finally home. Cian, he was... I impatiently pushed her away. The strange guy rushed to help.
Why did you push my mother?
Mother? Was this the child of Ada and my father? I didn't care and went straight to my mother's room. I didn't know whether my feeling right now was resentment or sadness. I stood dumbfounded, looking at my mother's messy room and turning my eyes to a picture of her covered in dust. I took a towel and wiped it, but accidentally dropped a photo. Having no other way, I had to crawl under to search. At the same time, someone opened the door and entered.
Mom, who is she?
She's the late wife's daughter. I didn't expect her to come back either.
So I have an older sister?
You don't have any older sisters. The property in this house belongs to you. But that man died so suddenly that he didn't leave a will. But rest assured, I will find a way to get all the assets for you. So, they want to fight with me? They should stop dreaming. I put my mother's picture back where it was. To avoid trouble, I rented an apartment outside to stay. I went to a friend's lawyer's office a few days later. After a careful discussion, we made a plan. First, I would hire a detective to track Ada and her son's every move to find their weaknesses. After a week of watching Mrs. Ada, I only knew she used to go to nightclubs and would occasionally return to her apartment. And Dion was worse. The detective only took pictures of Dion entering the bar without seeing him come out, even though they kept watch until morning. Not giving up, I contacted a detective that night and learned Ada had just left the nightclub and gone to an apartment. I rented the opposite apartment at all costs and gave the room key to the detective for easy monitoring. I quickly got my answer. A young man arrived before she returned, and the two stayed together for the night. Knowing Ada's inappropriate behavior, I immediately formed a plan. I hired Alex, a gigolo, to approach Mrs. Ada. Soon, she was attracted to Alex's beauty and manliness.
Here are the photos you need.
Good. I've already transferred the money to your account.
You seem to hate Mrs. Ada.
It's none of your business. Complete your mission and get the money. Then get out of my sight. Perhaps, when my father was alive, Ada had many affairs behind my father's back. But I thought he deserved it. He also used to treat my mother like that. It was his karma. Returning home, looking at the spacious yet empty dark house made me heartbroken. I subconsciously walked to my room and opened the door, only to discover that it had become Dion's room. I was angry when I didn't see the pictures taken by Mother. I frantically searched everywhere and found them packed in a dusty cardboard box. I looked around and noticed something resembling human hair poking under the bed. I was scared to go forward, constantly imagining horrible situations. I reached out my trembling leg and pulled it out. The hair that fell from under the bed hit me, and I screamed in panic. Ah! After coming down, I discovered it was just a wig. I curiously reached in and pulled out a wooden box. Opening it to see the inside was all makeup and women's clothes with a picture of a girl. Looking closely, I discovered it was Dion. Interesting. Does he like to pretend to be a girl? Maybe that was why the detective didn't see him leaving the bar. I was excited about the new clue, but as soon as I stepped down, I met Dion. He was surprised to see me here.
Amber, did you come home? Have you eaten yet? Let me cook for you. Wait for me.
There's no need.
You look tired. How about you sit down and rest for a while before you leave?
I lost my patience and shook Dion's hand and then walked away. Ever since I returned, Dion tried to be friendly. Dion was probably trying to get close to me because of the inheritance. I was not so easily fooled. Once again, I reached out to Alex. Get close and flirt with this person.
Wow, what a pretty chic.
He's not. He's a teenager.
What?
Here is his real photo.
This time, maybe I shouldn't.
I will pay you double.
It's not about money.
I will pay you 5 times as much as the previous payment. It's my final offer. Otherwise, I can find someone else.
Don't rush. I agree.
When I got home, I saw the detective waiting. He gave my father's medical schedule. It turned out that he had multiple strokes, but the worst time he didn't survive was when he got home. He died on the way to the hospital. What happened that night? I quickly drove to the old butler's house.
What makes my lady come all the way here?
You're no longer my butler, so you don't need to address me like that. You can just call me Amber.
So, Amber, what makes you come to see me?
Do you remember the day my father had a stroke when he got home?
That night, while cleaning the living room, I heard young Master Dion screaming. When I ran over, I saw Master lying unconscious on the ground, and Dion's clothes were ragged. He looked scared.
Was Mrs. Ada at home at that time?
No, it was just me, Dion, and the Master.
Thank you, that's all I need. Maybe my father witnessed something horrible that night, but as soon as I got home, the house was decorated beautifully for somebody's birthday. I went to ask a maid and learned that today was Ada's birthday. Haha, I just had a special gift that I wanted to give her. I returned to my room to change into a gorgeous dress, put on precious jewelry, sit in front of the mirror, and reapplied the lipstick on my lips. I picked up an envelope, kissed it tightly, then walked down the stairs. As soon as I stepped down, I saw Ada standing in the center of the room, constantly taking pictures. I walked over and took the phone from her hand. Do you want me to take a picture for you? That would be great. I carelessly took a picture and gave it to her, but to my surprise, she complimented me non-stop. She was so fake. It was my turn to perform. Watch how I tore her perfect mask. I also have a present for you. You're so polite. She smiled as she opened the package, but the smile immediately froze. Her face was pale, her eyes were white, and her mouth was speechless. What? You don't like this gift? She froze like a statue. The photos fell from her hands and scattered on the floor. Her trembling hand pointed at me, the other clutching her chest as she fell to her knees. Do you realize the beautiful girl in the picture is your son? The guy beside him looks a lot like the person who spent the night with you. What a coincidence! Her face paled, her whole body convulsed, and she passed out. The maid ran in. After witnessing it, she ran to call an ambulance. When it was quiet again, I gathered the pictures on the floor and called Alex. Come home with Dion tonight.
Tonight? But how?
Figure it out. I asked the maids to clean up the room and told everyone to leave, then took Ada's phone and texted Dion. I texted, I'm celebrating my birthday tonight by going out. I juggled the phone like juggling the fates of Ada and Dion in the palm of my hand. As expected, Dion and Alex went home wrapped in each other's arms and pulled each other up to the room. I walked softly down the hallway. Dion's door wasn't fully closed. Dion was sitting in front of the makeup mirror. The feeling of disgust that flared up inside of me made me feel nauseous.
Alex, do you think I'm pretty? You're stunning.
Really?
My dad doesn't think so.
As Dion mentioned about my father, I immediately took out my phone and started recording.
I fell in love and brought a boy home. I wanted to put on makeup for him, but my father found out when we were cuddling together. I tried to explain, but he called me a monster. I was petrified. I have heard it many times in school. Every time people see me, they say I look weird and ugly. I just want to be by myself. I just want to live a meaningful life.
Hearing Dion's words combined with the butler's words, I understood the problem. Perhaps that night, my father witnessed a scene where Dion disguised himself as a girl and went to bed with his boyfriend, causing him to have a stroke. With all the evidence collected, from Mrs. Ada's affair to Dion's indirect cause of my father's death, I succeeded in disposing of their inheritance rights. I returned home in a good mood, just as Ada and her son were packing up to leave. What's wrong? Using every trick to get in here, but having to leave empty-handed? How do you feel?
Amber, will you be happy with your decision?
I'll be happy as long as I don't have to see you too.
Just when I think I'm about to have an older sister.
But strangely, when they left, I did not feel happy but felt a rekindled sense of loss. Suddenly, Alex came in, putting the card down in front of me.
This is the money you gave me.
What? Are you saying it's too little?
Don't think money can buy everything. You use your money to exploit other people's mistakes to take possession of the property. Have you thought about their feelings?
What?
What did Dion ever do to you? Is it wrong if he just wants to live with his true self? You look at yourself. You're no different from your father. Because of money, you're ready to do anything, even trampling on other people's dignity. You think your mother would be happy with these actions?
Get out! Get out of here!
Dion once said he was happy to know he had an older sister. He also wanted to prepare gifts for your birthday, even planning to spend Christmas with his sister. But in the end, this was all he got?
I took out a picture of my mother and wondered if everything I did was right. Yes, Ada paid the right price she deserved. But Dion, on the other hand, never harmed me. And I ruined his whole life just because of the inheritance. I scratched my head and locked myself in thoughts. Can you guys give me some advice? What can I do now?